Titans Beast World issue number 3. The rest of the world may be taking a break this holiday season, but comic books keep coming out every week. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? This book, it feels like it's ramping up to something. I don't know what that something is. Like, the narration throughout this book makes it sound like Amanda Waller's behind all of it. Is that true? That's kind of boring, I think. I don't know. Having all this be like a plot by Amanda Waller just kind of feels boring and tiresome. But whatever. I mean, I guess. Why not? What else are you going to do with it? This also is not Ivan Reis doing the artwork, which, I get it. There is a lot of stuff going on in this book, so to do every issue is kind of hard. But it's fine, whatever. We open up this issue, we're still in Kahndaq, we are watching Starfire and Donna try to defeat the Black Adam Lion. Raven needs Donna to come to space. So we have to get her out of there, but before that we gotta find a way to kind of like neutralize the threat coming to Kahndaq. Starfire goes nuclear or whatever, burns a lot of like the creatures, knocks them down. That is when the Flash and Impulse show up, and they're like, okay, we can get like all the unaffected people out of here. Hopefully that'll be enough time to come up with a plan. So they're going to do that. Donna's going to head off to space, and Star is going to deal with whatever's left of Adam. We then cut to the Titans Tower, where Dick Grayson is talking to Dr. Clancy. Now, I'm guessing she is a character in the ongoing Nightwing book, a book that I had to drop off of just because there's too many other books coming out. But she lives in Dick's apartment, and they have like a familiar basis or something, whatever. They've got the Wolf Batman chained up. He's kind of like infected, just a disastrous creature. Not a bat, which is fine. But I guess if we're doing like the vampire thing or whatever, for no reason, I'm just going to make the comparison that like a wolf and a bat are two creatures that Dracula has canonically turned into before. If we want to imply that Batman has some vampiric whatever. I'm just saying that for no reason. But whatever. So she wants to run some tests because she deals with like infections and toxins and stuff in like her work, but Dick is also like bleeding out in front of her. He's like scratched and cut up everywhere. She also knows that it's Dick Grayson while she's talking to Nightwing. Like she figures out like, dude, you live in my apartment and I've been watching you go in and out of work when I work late shifts. Like I figured it out. You're fine. And they're just like, okay. So we're dealing with that problem. Dick's taking charge here. Oracle's helping him out. And they're just kind of being like, we have to figure out a way to stop this when a person, or a being, I should say, maybe not a person or human, they're a being of sentience, walks in and is like, we need to talk, Nightwing. And that's when it's Detective Chimp shows up, which, that is the character you use in this book. You have to use him in this book. The world's turning into animalistic creatures. Bobo needs to rear his head. And you see that Dr. Clancy like throws a flashlight at him and he's like, Miss, if you think I'm one of those people, you're surely mistaken. I'm wearing nice clothing. And he's like, no, Bobo's on the team. He knows the thing. And Bobo, because he has an interesting perspective on the world, being a chimp and seeing everybody become these creatures, he thinks this isn't chaos, but there's something more agenda-based going on with the creatures. Then we cut to the skies of Metropolis, where a bunch of winged creatures are attacking an airplane. Power Girl comes in to save them, but she gets infected with a spore and turns into like a firebird. Is that what we're saying? Like a flame bird of like Kryptonian heritage? Is that what we're doing? Because she's on fire, so it's like that's not a human bird, which does make, I think that's kind of like a cool thing to explore, where it's like she's not human, so she wouldn't turn into like a human animal. That's interesting. Like that is an idea for this book, and it makes you think like, okay, like what would an Atlantean turn into? What would like Superman turn into if he got infected? That's very interesting. Would Wonder Woman become a kangaroo? That'd be pretty sick. So she's infected, but, a bird, a plane, and then Superman shows up, and it's John Kent, and he saves the people in the plane, and he's going to go deal with the Flame Bird Power Girl going electric blue. We're picking that up from the events that happened in his Adventures of Superman. So he's going to blast her out of there. We then cut back to the fight with Star and Black Adam. I really like this big lion Black Adam. I don't know. I think it's like the funnest part of the book. And he kind of like retreats after he gets his ass handed to him, which is kind of sick. And you see Star's like, I don't know what happened. He just ran away. But was like, of course he is. Like, the more like animal they become, the more their animal instincts kick in and like get taken over. And it's overriding everything else in their DNA and in their instincts. So when they fight a creature stronger and more powerful and more deadly than them, that's probably going to hurt them. The fight or flight kicks in and they just skedaddle out of here. So this time it's a Tamaranian alien Next time, who knows what's going to be. They're getting their drive from something else, though, so what could that be? They then cut back to the big fight happening in space against Garo. And because Raven called over Donna, she's like, look, I kind of have a plan to like put things into effect a certain way, but if there's any shred of Gar left in there, I don't want to hurt him, so I kind of like need your help. You have the lasso of persuasion. Can you wrap it around the Garo and potentially keep him in place for long enough to make a plan to stop all this from happening? So Donna wraps up the big Garo as best she can. All the other heroes in the midst of that fight are called back to go deal with the threat happening on Earth. So they leave, and then, okay, maybe Donna can hold on for a little bit, but the fight is only going to get worse. We don't know how long it's going to last. We have to find a way to stop this before someone else steps in to do the damage. We then cut to Stryker's Island, where Amanda Waller and Peacemaker are headed into the big penitentiary. Peacemaker's like, oh shit, there's a bunch of them. Do we have to kill them? He's like, yeah, of course you kill them. They're not people, they're monsters. The narration throughout the entire book has been, I think it's Dr. Hate saying it, or maybe it's Raven saying it. I don't know. It's like, this was Amanda Waller's plan the whole time. She wanted to show the world that they were terrible people. The heroes deserve to be killed and they're monsters because she hates them too. So her plan was to do this and turn everybody into monsters. And okay, that's so boring to me. I don't know. Like, all the stuff this book could do, having Amanda Waller be like, now I want the world to see how much I dislike these guys the way I dislike them. It's not that interesting. But whatever, seeing Peacemaker kill a bunch of like shark people, that's kind of fun, I guess. It's okay, but she's headed into Stryker's Island because she wants to talk to a specific prisoner that's there. And of course, that prisoner is Lex Luthor. And he's like, you came for something for me, but I'm not going to help you. I'm on a different path now. I'm serving my time. I'm not involved in whatever your shenanigans are here. Amanda, this is something you could deal with yourself. Leave me out of it. And she's like, look, I'm just here to make a deal. I know you have something from Batman, something that you stole from him, and I'd like to find a way to slay the Beast Boy once and for all. And, whatever. Maybe it's just that Amanda Waller is not that interesting of a character to me. I don't know. Like, the stuff I'm liking in this book is not the stuff where Waller's like, I have a plan, this was all me. It's like, no way, we have to see the hero step up to defeat this crisis. But having it be like Amanda Waller, it's one of those things where you can't really take this back for the character where she did something this deadly. So whatever happens with her has to be worthwhile, and I don't know if the book has the capability to do something worthwhile with her in that capacity. I guess we'll wait and see. But you know what? As far as like a globe-trotting adventure with like all aspects of the DC universe together, fighting big animals, there's worse ways this could be done. And now that we have seen references to Detective Chimp and to Animal Man, I'm kind of on board with what we're doing. It might be good. I liked it the whole time, I should say, but now I'm like, okay, we could do something fun here. We could ramp this up to something interesting. Like, where's Swamp Thing in all of this, Like, surely he'd be like, this is crazy. But I guess it is like the red that's being affected and not really the green, but you'd still think he'd step up at some point. Maybe. I guess we'll see what happens. So Titans Beast World issue number 3, I am going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. And happy holidays, folks. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.